Hey there, amazing people! Today, we're diving deep into a topic that resonates with many of us: guilt. We often carry this heavy burden, feeling weighed down by our past actions and mistakes. But what if I told you there's a way to stop feeling guilty and find a path to inner freedom? Sounds intriguing, right? Let's explore this together. Have you ever felt like guilt has been holding you back, making it hard for you to move forward? Or perhaps you're constantly replaying past events in your mind, unable to let go of the shame and regret. We all have moments where guilt seems to take over our lives, but it doesn't have to be this way. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only have a fresh perspective, but also practical steps to break free from the chains of guilt. Today, we continue our self-development series. If you missed the last episode, the link is in the description. These lessons are a daily life curriculum, so subscribe and stay tuned. Enjoying the series? Like the video and comment, keep it up below. Ready to get started? Let's dive in. Lesson 1: Understanding Guilt. Your philosophical guide to recognizing guilt. All right, folks, let's start by understanding what guilt really is. Guilt can often feel like a moral compass, guiding us towards right actions and away from wrongdoing. It's that nagging voice inside our heads reminding us of our mistakes and pushing us to make amends. Guilt can help us to reflect on our actions, recognize when we've hurt others, and motivate us to seek forgiveness and change our behavior. This aspect of guilt can be constructive, encouraging personal growth and moral integrity. However, guilt can also become a toxic force, a relentless tormentor that robs us of joy, peace, and self-worth. When guilt becomes excessive or irrational, it stops being helpful and starts to hinder our well-being. It can lead to a cycle of self-blame and self-punishment, where we constantly relive our mistakes and feel undeserving of happiness or forgiveness. This kind of guilt can be paralyzing, making it difficult to move forward and live a fulfilling life. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche put it, guilt is the most terrible sickness of the soul. This profound statement highlights how deeply guilt can affect us on an emotional and psychological level. It's a heavy burden to carry, a constant reminder of our perceived failures and shortcomings. When we allow guilt to dominate our thoughts and feelings, it can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even depression. The weight of guilt can make us feel like we're drowning, unable to escape the shadows of our past. Guilt can also distort our self-perception, causing us to see ourselves as fundamentally flawed or unworthy. We might start to believe that we don't deserve good things in life or that we're inherently bad people because of our past actions. This negative self-image can erode our confidence and self-esteem, making it hard to pursue our goals and build healthy relationships. Over time, guilt can create a vicious cycle where our sense of self-worth is continuously undermined, preventing us from experiencing joy and fulfillment. Moreover, guilt can strain our relationships with others. When we're consumed by guilt, we might become overly apologetic, defensive, or distant. We might struggle to accept kindness and support from others, feeling undeserving of their care and affection. In some cases, guilt can even cause us to push people away, isolating ourselves out of a fear of being judged or rejected. This isolation can further exacerbate our feelings of loneliness and despair, trapping us in a cycle of guilt and alienation. Understanding the dual nature of guilt is crucial for managing it effectively. While guilt can serve as a moral compass, guiding us towards positive change, it's important to recognize when it becomes toxic and counterproductive. By acknowledging the impact of guilt on our mental and emotional health, we can start to develop strategies for coping with it in a healthy and constructive way. This might involve practicing self-compassion, seeking support from loved ones or professionals, and focusing on making amends rather than dwelling on our past mistakes. In summary, guilt is a complex and powerful emotion that can influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in profound ways. While it can motivate us to make positive changes, it can also become a destructive force that undermines our well-being and self-worth. As we continue this journey towards inner freedom, it's essential to recognize the signs of toxic guilt and take steps to address it constructively. By doing so, we can break free from the chains of guilt and move towards a life filled with joy, peace, and self-acceptance. Lesson 2. Acknowledge your feelings. The first step towards inner freedom is to acknowledge your guilt and shame. Don't try to suppress it or pretend it doesn't exist. Allow yourself to feel the emotions, but don't let them control you. As the philosopher Seneca put it, we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. This profound observation underscores the importance of recognizing our emotions without letting them dominate our lives. When we suppress or ignore our feelings of guilt and shame, we inadvertently give them more power over us. These emotions can fester beneath the surface, manifesting as anxiety, depression, or other forms of psychological distress. By acknowledging these feelings, we take the first step towards understanding and resolving them. Acknowledge your feelings doesn't mean wallowing in them. It's about creating a space where you can examine and understand your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This process requires mindfulness and self-awareness. When you notice feelings of guilt or shame arising, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself where these emotions are coming from and what they are trying to tell you. This practice of self-inquiry can help you gain insight into your emotional landscape and identify any underlying issues that need to be addressed. It's also essential to recognize that feeling guilt or shame is a natural part of the human experience. These emotions are signals that we've strayed from our values or harmed someone we care about. They serve as reminders to reassess our actions and make amends. By acknowledging our feelings, we honor this aspect of our moral compass while also taking responsibility for our actions. However, it's crucial not to let guilt and shame define us. These emotions are temporary states, not permanent fixtures of our identity. We must learn to separate our actions from our sense of self-worth. Just because we've made mistakes doesn't mean we are inherently bad people. By embracing this distinction, we can start to cultivate self-compassion and forgiveness, which are vital for emotional healing and growth. Practicing mindfulness can be particularly effective in acknowledging and managing guilt and shame. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When feelings of guilt or shame arise, try to observe them with a sense of curiosity rather than criticism. Notice the physical sensations in your body, the thoughts running through your mind, and the emotions you're experiencing. This mindful awareness can help you stay grounded and prevent you from being swept away by a tidal wave of negative emotions. Journaling is another powerful tool for acknowledging your feelings. Writing about your experiences can provide a safe outlet for expressing and processing your emotions. It allows you to explore the root causes of your guilt and shame and identify patterns in your thoughts and behaviors. Through journaling, you can gain clarity and perspective, which can help you move towards resolution and healing. Seeking support from others is also essential in this process. Talking to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist can provide valuable insights and emotional support. Sharing your feelings with someone who understands can help you feel less isolated and more validated. It can also offer a different perspective on your situation, helping you see things more objectively and compassionately. In acknowledging your feelings, it's important to remember that this is not a one-time task, but an ongoing practice. Emotions are fluid and can resurface at different times and in different contexts. Each time you acknowledge your feelings, you strengthen your ability to cope with them healthfully and constructively. Over time, this practice can lead to greater emotional resilience and a deeper sense of inner peace. In conclusion, acknowledging your feelings of guilt and shame is a critical step towards inner freedom. It involves recognizing and embracing these emotions without letting them control you. By practicing mindfulness, journaling, and seeking support from others, you can begin to understand and resolve your feelings of guilt and shame. Remember, these emotions are natural and temporary, and they do not define you. Through this process, you can cultivate self-compassion, forgiveness, and emotional resilience, paving the way for a more fulfilling and peaceful life. Lesson 3. Take responsibility. Taking responsibility for our actions is a fundamental step in the journey toward personal growth and inner peace. It involves recognizing the impact of our behavior on others and ourselves and making a conscious effort to rectify our mistakes. As the philosopher Aristotle stated, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Taking responsibility is about developing the habit of accountability, which leads to a life of integrity and excellence. First and foremost, taking responsibility means acknowledging our mistakes and the harm they may have caused. This can be a difficult and humbling experience, but it is essential for growth and healing. By admitting our wrongdoings, we open the door to making amends and repairing relationships. This acknowledgement is not about self-blame or self-punishment, but about recognizing our role in the situation and understanding the consequences of our actions. Once we have acknowledged our mistakes, the next step is to make amends. This can involve apologizing to those we have hurt and taking concrete steps to rectify the situation. An apology should be sincere and heartfelt, expressing genuine remorse for our actions. It's important to acknowledge the specific ways in which our behavior has impacted others and to offer a plan for making things right. This might involve repairing any damage caused, offering restitution, or committing to change our behavior in the future. Taking responsibility also means learning from our mistakes. Each mistake is an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. By reflecting on our actions and their outcomes, we can gain valuable insights into our behavior patterns and make conscious efforts to change. This process of self-reflection and learning is crucial for personal development and helps us avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. It's also essential to practice self-compassion during this process. Taking responsibility does not mean harshly criticizing or berating ourselves for our mistakes. Instead, it involves acknowledging our imperfections and treating ourselves with kindness and understanding. Self-compassion allows us to learn from our mistakes without being weighed down by guilt and shame. It enables us to take responsibility in a healthy and constructive manner, fostering growth and resilience. In addition to personal accountability, taking responsibility involves being accountable to others. This means being reliable, keeping our promises, and fulfilling our obligations. When we consistently demonstrate accountability, we build trust and respect in our relationships. Others see us as dependable and trustworthy, which strengthens our connections and enhances our personal and professional lives. Moreover, taking responsibility extends to our broader social and environmental responsibilities. It involves recognizing our role in the larger community and making efforts to contribute positively. This can include engaging in community service, advocating for social justice, and adopting sustainable practices to protect the environment. By taking responsibility for our impact on the world, we contribute to the well-being of others and the planet. It's important to recognize that taking responsibility is an ongoing process. It requires continuous effort and commitment to self-improvement. There will be times when we falter or make mistakes, but each instance is an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to accountability. Over time, this practice becomes ingrained in our character, shaping us into individuals of integrity and excellence. Taking responsibility also involves setting boundaries and holding others accountable for their actions. This means recognizing when someone else's behavior is unacceptable and addressing it appropriately. It's important to communicate our boundaries clearly and assertively and to take action when they are violated. This might involve confronting the person, seeking mediation, or, in some cases, distancing ourselves from the relationship. By holding others accountable, we protect our well-being and foster healthier relationships. In the workplace, taking responsibility is crucial for professional success and growth. It involves owning our tasks and duties, admitting mistakes, and seeking solutions. Employers and colleagues value individuals who demonstrate accountability, as it contributes to a productive and positive work environment. By taking responsibility for our work, we enhance our professional reputation and open up opportunities for advancement. Ultimately, taking responsibility is about embracing our power to shape our lives and the world around us. It's about recognizing that we have the ability to make choices and take actions that align with our values and aspirations. By taking responsibility, we empower ourselves to create positive change and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. In conclusion, taking responsibility is a fundamental aspect of personal growth and inner peace. It involves acknowledging our mistakes, making amends, learning from our experiences, and practicing self-compassion. It requires continuous effort and commitment to self-improvement and extends to our broader social and environmental responsibilities. By taking responsibility, we build trust, enhance our relationships, and empower ourselves to create positive change. Embrace the habit of accountability and strive for a life of integrity and excellence. Lesson 4: Forgive yourself. Forgiving oneself is an essential yet challenging part of the journey towards healing and personal growth. It involves letting go of the guilt and shame associated with our mistakes and embracing a compassionate and understanding perspective toward ourselves. As the philosopher Epictetus remarked, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom highlights the importance of our internal response to our actions and experiences. Self-forgiveness is a powerful response that fosters inner peace and emotional well-being. The first step in forgiving yourself is to acknowledge and accept your humanity. Everyone makes mistakes, and it is through these experiences that we learn and grow. Accept that you are not perfect and that it is natural to falter at times. Recognizing your humanity allows you to approach yourself with kindness and understanding rather than harsh judgment. Next, it's important to understand the role of guilt and shame in the process of self-forgiveness. While guilt can be a helpful indicator of actions that go against our values, it should not be allowed to fester into toxic shame. Guilt can prompt us to take corrective action and make amends, but prolonged shame only serves to diminish our self-worth and hinder our progress. It's crucial to differentiate between these emotions and address guilt constructively while letting go of shame. To forgive yourself, start by reflecting on the mistake and its context. Consider the circumstances that led to the action and the factors that influenced your behavior. This reflection should be honest and compassionate, aiming to understand rather than to justify or condemn. By gaining insight into the reasons behind your actions, you can learn valuable lessons and identify areas for improvement. After reflection, it's important to make amends where possible. This step, discussed in Lesson 3, involves taking responsibility and taking concrete steps to rectify the harm caused. Making amends is a crucial part of the healing process and paves the way for self-forgiveness. It demonstrates your commitment to personal growth and integrity. Once you have taken responsibility and made amends, it's time to practice self-compassion. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend in a similar situation. Acknowledge your efforts to make things right and recognize the progress you have made. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and that you are deserving of forgiveness and compassion. One effective technique for cultivating self-compassion is to engage in self-reflective writing or journaling. Write about your experiences, emotions, and the steps you have taken to make amends. Express your feelings of remorse and your desire for self-forgiveness. This practice can help you process your emotions and gain clarity on your journey toward healing. Another powerful tool for self-forgiveness is mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment and observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, you can become aware of self-critical thoughts and gently redirect them towards self-compassion. Mindfulness helps you stay grounded and centered, allowing you to navigate your emotions with greater ease. It's also important to seek support from others during this process. Share your feelings and experiences with trusted friends, family members, or a therapist. Talking about your struggles can provide a sense of relief and offer new perspectives on your situation. Support from others can reinforce your efforts toward self-forgiveness and remind you that you are not alone in your journey. As you practice self-forgiveness, be patient with yourself. Healing is a gradual process, and it's normal to experience setbacks along the way. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and continue to remind yourself of your inherent worth and goodness. Over time, self-forgiveness will become more natural, and you will experience greater inner peace and resilience. Forgiving yourself also involves letting go of unrealistic expectations and perfectionism. Understand that striving for perfection is an unattainable goal that only leads to frustration and disappointment. Embrace your imperfections and recognize that they are a part of your unique journey. By accepting yourself as you are, with all your flaws and strengths, you can cultivate a deeper sense of self-acceptance and contentment. In conclusion, forgiving yourself is a vital component of personal growth and inner peace. It involves acknowledging your humanity, understanding the role of guilt and shame, reflecting on your actions, making amends, and practicing self-compassion. Techniques such as self-reflective writing, mindfulness, and seeking support can aid in this process. Remember to be patient with yourself and let go of unrealistic expectations. By embracing self-forgiveness, you open the door to healing, resilience, and a more fulfilling life. In the words of Buddha, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Embrace this truth and allow self-forgiveness to guide you towards a life of peace and happiness. Lesson 5. Learn from your mistakes. Learning from mistakes is a cornerstone of personal development and wisdom. It transforms negative experiences into opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Embracing mistakes as learning experiences allows us to navigate life with greater understanding and resilience. Philosopher John Dewey said, "Failure is instructive." The person who really thinks learns quite as much from his failures as from his successes. This insight emphasizes the value of reflecting on our mistakes and extracting lessons from them. By doing so, we can improve our decision-making and avoid repeating the same errors. The first step in learning from your mistakes is to acknowledge them without defensiveness. Accepting responsibility for your actions, as discussed in previous lessons, is crucial. When you own your mistakes, you open the door to meaningful reflection and growth. This honest acceptance is the foundation for learning and transformation. Next, engage in a thorough analysis of the mistake. Consider the context and circumstances surrounding the error. What were the contributing factors? Were there any warning signs you overlooked? Reflecting on these questions helps you understand the root causes of the mistake. It's important to approach this analysis with a mindset of curiosity rather than judgment. Identify the specific lessons that can be learned from the mistake. What can you do differently in the future to prevent a similar error? These lessons can be practical, such as improving your time management skills, or they can be more introspective, such as developing greater self-awareness. By pinpointing these lessons, you can create a roadmap for personal growth. Once you have identified the lessons, it's important to implement changes in your behavior and mindset. This might involve developing new habits, acquiring new skills, or altering your approach to certain situations. The philosopher Aristotle famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Consistently applying the lessons learned from your mistakes helps you cultivate positive habits and behaviors. In addition to personal reflection, seek feedback from others. Share your experiences with trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues and ask for their perspectives. Others can provide valuable insights and help you see aspects of the mistake that you might have missed. This external feedback can enrich your understanding and support your growth. It's also important to be patient and compassionate with yourself during this process. Learning from mistakes is a journey, and it's normal to experience setbacks along the way. Be kind to yourself and recognize that growth takes time. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and continue to strive for improvement. Mindfulness can be a powerful tool in this process. By practicing mindfulness, you can stay present and aware of your thoughts and actions. This heightened awareness helps you recognize potential mistakes before they happen and respond to challenges with greater clarity and composure. Mindfulness cultivates a proactive rather than reactive approach to life. Another key aspect of learning from mistakes is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and continue moving forward. It involves maintaining a positive outlook and persevering despite difficulties. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche famously said, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." This sentiment captures the essence of resilience and its role in personal growth. Embrace mistakes as opportunities for growth rather than as failures. This shift in perspective can significantly impact your approach to challenges and setbacks. View each mistake as a stepping stone on your journey toward wisdom and self-improvement. By adopting this mindset, you can turn adversity into a powerful catalyst for change. Documenting your experiences and reflections can also be beneficial. Keep a journal where you record your mistakes, the lessons learned, and the changes you plan to implement. This practice not only helps you process your thoughts and emotions, but also serves as a valuable resource for future reference. Reviewing your journal can provide insights and remind you of your progress. In conclusion, learning from your mistakes is a vital component of personal growth and wisdom. It involves acknowledging your errors, analyzing them with curiosity, identifying lessons, implementing changes, seeking feedback, and practicing patience and self-compassion. Techniques such as mindfulness, resilience, and journaling can aid in this process. Remember to view mistakes as opportunities for growth and to celebrate your progress along the way. As Confucius wisely noted, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Embrace this truth and let your mistakes guide you toward a path of continuous improvement and fulfillment. Lesson 6. Cultivate patience. Patience is a virtue that is often overlooked in our fast-paced, instant gratification society. However, developing patience is essential for personal growth, resilience, and achieving a sense of inner peace. Patience allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure, leading to better outcomes and more fulfilling relationships. The philosopher Aristotle once said, "Patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet." This suggests that while practicing patience can be challenging, the rewards are well worth the effort. To cultivate patience, it's important to understand its significance and incorporate it into our daily lives. Start by recognizing the value of patience. Patience enables us to make thoughtful decisions, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and build stronger connections with others. It helps us remain calm and composed in stressful situations, reducing the likelihood of negative reactions and impulsive behaviors. By valuing patience, we can approach life with a more balanced and measured perspective. One way to develop patience is through mindfulness practices. Mindfulness encourages us to stay present and fully engage with the current moment. This heightened awareness helps us recognize and manage feelings of impatience and frustration. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and body scans can enhance mindfulness and promote a sense of calm and patience. Reflect on situations where impatience has led to negative outcomes. Understanding the consequences of impatience can motivate you to cultivate patience. Consider times when acting impulsively resulted in regret, misunderstandings, or strained relationships. Use these reflections as a reminder to pause and approach similar situations with greater patience in the future. Developing patience also involves setting realistic expectations. Recognize that not everything will happen according to your desired timeline or outcome. By accepting that delays and setbacks are a natural part of life, you can reduce feelings of frustration and impatience. Adjust your expectations to align with reality and practice gratitude for the progress you make, no matter how small. Practice active listening as a way to foster patience in your interactions with others. Give your full attention to the speaker, avoid interrupting, and take the time to understand their perspective. Active listening not only improves communication, but also enhances your ability to respond thoughtfully and patiently. It demonstrates respect and empathy, strengthening your relationships. Engage in activities that require patience and persistence. Hobbies such as gardening, knitting, or playing a musical instrument can teach valuable lessons in patience. These activities often involve gradual progress and delayed gratification, helping you develop the ability to wait and appreciate the journey rather than rushing towards the outcome. Embrace the concept of delayed gratification. This means postponing immediate rewards in favor of long-term benefits. For example, saving money for a future goal rather than making impulsive purchases, or dedicating time to study and practice to achieve mastery in a skill. Delayed gratification builds discipline and reinforces the importance of patience in achieving meaningful goals. Patience is also closely linked to empathy and understanding. Practice putting yourself in others' shoes and considering their circumstances and perspectives. This empathetic approach can reduce feelings of impatience and frustration in social interactions. It helps you respond with kindness and compassion, fostering a more harmonious environment. Recognize that developing patience is an ongoing process. It requires consistent effort and self-reflection. Celebrate your progress and be gentle with yourself when you encounter setbacks. Each moment of impatience is an opportunity to learn and grow. By remaining committed to cultivating patience, you will gradually develop a more patient and resilient mindset. Reading and reflecting on philosophical teachings about patience can provide valuable insights and inspiration. Philosophers throughout history have emphasized the importance of patience as a key virtue. For example, the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." This reminds us that patience is essential for achieving greatness and lasting fulfillment. In addition to philosophical teachings, seek support from others who exemplify patience. Surround yourself with individuals who demonstrate patience in their actions and attitudes. Their examples can serve as a source of inspiration and encouragement. Engage in conversations about patience and share strategies for developing this virtue. Journaling can be a powerful tool for cultivating patience. Write about your experiences with impatience, including the triggers and outcomes. Reflect on how you can approach similar situations with greater patience in the future. Use your journal to track your progress and celebrate moments when you successfully practice patience. In conclusion, patience is a crucial virtue that enhances personal growth, resilience, and inner peace. By recognizing its value, practicing mindfulness, setting realistic expectations, engaging in activities that require patience, and embracing delayed gratification, you can develop this essential quality. Patience fosters empathy, understanding, and better relationships, leading to a more fulfilling and balanced life. Remember that cultivating patience is a continuous journey, and each step forward brings you closer to achieving true composure and wisdom. By embracing patience, you create a foundation for navigating life's challenges with grace and understanding. As we conclude this episode, remember that overcoming guilt and shame is a continuous process. It requires patience, self-compassion, and the willingness to confront our deepest emotions. The philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Each step you take towards healing and self-acceptance is a significant milestone on your path to inner freedom. Embrace your humanity with all its imperfections and complexities. Recognize that mistakes and setbacks are part of the human experience, and they do not define your worth. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and be kind to yourself during challenging times. In moments of doubt or difficulty, return to the lessons we've discussed. Reflect on the wisdom of philosophers and the insights we've shared. Remember that you have the power to choose your response to guilt and shame, and that inner freedom is within your reach. Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey. If this episode resonated with you, leave a comment below and share your thoughts and experiences. Your reflections could inspire others who are navigating similar challenges. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next episode, where we'll continue exploring topics that empower and uplift. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay patient, and keep moving forward on your path to inner freedom. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. We're here to support you every step of the way. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.